All right, y'all, prepare yourself for some craziness. This next video is what scientists discovered shocked the world, and you can tell by whatever this is on the screen that it's about to be crazy. So if you're new, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, join the fam, run the likes up, and let's see where they're taking us with this one.
There are many strange things on our planet, and we still haven't discovered all of them. In this video, we'll look at some of the weirdest, most unexpected, and most bizarre discoveries. From an Egyptian mummy with cancer to disease-ridden Spanish skeletons, here are the 15 strangest things ever discovered. Number 15. Ancient Egyptian mummy with nose cancer.
With nose cancer?
We've excavated and examined a lot of Egyptian mummies, and while all of them provide valuable information, some are more special than others. Recently, the world's first pregnant Egyptian mummy was discovered by archaeologists. It was the very first mummy who died while with child. What made her more intriguing was the reason behind her death. Little is known about this mummy, also known as the Mysterious Lady. Experts believe that she lived during the 1st century BC as an elite woman from Thebes in southern Egypt.
Yeah, but the question is, did they know that when they buried her, that she was with child back then? I mean, there's no way for us to know, but that would be some of the questions I would have. I wonder if they knew she was with child.
However, her exact identity remains unknown to this day. Initially, experts believed that the mummy died due to complications from pregnancy, but recent research made it apparent that this wasn't the case. Researchers from Poland found something strange while analyzing the mummy's skull. After an X-ray and CT scan, it was revealed that her bone structure differed from most Egyptian mummies. Her craniofacial bones looked similar to those suffering from nasopharyngeal cancer. This new discovery allowed researchers to learn more about what cancer looked like in the past. What's more, this finding also revealed that nose cancer is more common in particular regions of East Asia and Africa compared to other parts of the world. This suggests that this disease spread in these regions because people have stronger genetic predispositions to this type of cancer. Who knows? Perhaps the cure behind the deadly disease that claims the lives of millions of people annually might lie in our past. Before we go on, like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now.
Wouldn't that be something? We find out that they figured out a cure for cancer way back then. Like, that would be...
Number 14. Slovakia's decapitated victims from the Stone Age. Archaeologists in Slovakia stumbled upon a horrifying discovery while excavating a Neolithic settlement site in the country's western region. The area is one of the largest Stone Age settlements in Central Europe. It holds a lot of secrets about our predecessors, but none of the archaeologists expected such a grisly discovery. They found a massive pit that dates back to about 7,000 years ago. In the pit were the skeletons of 35 individuals. However, what surprised them was that all of them were decapitated. The cause of the death of the individuals remains unclear to this day, but many believe they were cult sacrifices. Unlike the usual burial practice carried out for the deceased during the Stone Age, these bones were haphazardly thrown into the grave. Some skeletons were on their backs, while others were on their sides. There were even several with arms and legs outstretched like frogs. Experts found the remains of both men and women in the grave. It's gut-wrenching, but a skull of a young child was also among the gruesome pile. Many believe that the individuals were brutally slain for a ritual, but experts claim that there's a small possibility that it wasn't the case. The decapitated individuals may be victims of an epidemic, and their kin was forced to end their lives and throw them away to prevent more people from dying. We still don't know whether the 35 individuals had some sort of connection with each other, but archaeologists hope to learn more about this grim mass grave in the future. Number 13.
That's crazy.
Mummified Egyptian cats.
And we think the times we living in is crazy. Listen to some of the things that they were doing back then.
If there's one thing that ancient Egypt is known for, aside from mummies and pyramids, it's that they worshipped and revered felines. From hieroglyphics, statues, and obelisks, the Egyptians made sure to let the entire world know about their fascination with cats. These animals had a unique status in the ancient civilization and were often connected to the Egyptian gods. People of ancient Egypt valued cats, dogs, and other animals, but cats were the most special. It was believed that felines were magical creatures, and people who treated them well would be rewarded with good luck. People from all walks of life treasured these animals. Those who belonged to elite families made sure to adorn cats with the luxury they deserved: jewels and good food. Several cats were treated like royalty. Of course, these animals were also mummified when they died. Ancient Egyptians believed you would continue to live on the other side, so they honored their pets to have their companionship in the afterlife. Several paintings in tombs and coffin cases depict cats with their deceased owners. This shows how important cats were to these people. Recently, archaeologists stumbled upon a discovery that proved the strong relationship between the ancient Egyptians and their feline companions even further. While excavating a site that dates back to the 10th and 13th centuries AD, they discovered the mummified remains of a feline carnivore. Unlike pets found in mass graves, the feline was carefully preserved and mummified. I can't really blame the ancient Egyptians though. After all, even people nowadays are captivated by these creatures. Number 12. Acoustic levitation. One of the recent breakthroughs in science is in the field of sound and acoustics. In the past several years, scientists have been continuously studying how to use sound waves to levitate and move tiny particles and liquid droplets. Soon, we might be able to use sound waves to levitate heavier objects. One of the most astounding theories is that acoustic levitation was actually used to build the pyramids. Although no first-hand account exists, there are a lot of written testimonies that prove it's the truth. One account claims that the ancient Egyptians used a magical papyrus imprinted with symbols. This flat sheet was placed under a stone, and the magic caused the heavy material to levitate. Several people theorize that perhaps this process is none other than acoustic levitation. However,
now listen, I'm not saying they wrong. Who am I to say that? And how can I prove that? But how much sound would it take to levitate some of those boulders that were used to build the pyramid? Like, those things were weighing tons. You're looking at a little droplet right here. So, and we don't even know how much sound that took to do that. Where are they getting that type of sound from? I don't know about that one. And that's the first time I've heard that. I haven't heard that. This is the first time I'm hearing they use sound possibly, or that's a theory.
There's no direct evidence of this claim. Other ancient cultures allegedly possessed superior knowledge of acoustics and sound, including those who lived in China years ago. For now, our knowledge only allows us to lift incredibly tiny spheres that are only a few millimeters big. However, some people believe that soon, sonic tractor beams will allow us to precisely deliver drugs into our bodies and assemble delicate computer chips in midair. Now wouldn't that be something? Number 11. 17th century letter written by a possessed nun. There's a fine line between science and the supernatural, but sometimes even experts in the academe are impressed by myths and legends. One of the most intriguing stories in history is that of a 31-year-old nun. Sister Maria Crocifissa della Concezione was a nun who lived more than 3 centuries ago. She was an ordinary nun, but everything changed on August 11, 1676. On that day, she was found on the floor of her cell with her face covered in ink. Baffled, those in the convent asked her what happened, but the only thing she could give them was a letter with incomprehensible symbols and letters drawn on the parchment. She claimed that the devil was trying to make her turn her back away from God. The letter only had 14 lines, and for the past centuries, many experts have been trying to decode it, but no one has been successful until recently. Recently, experts from the Ludum Science Center in Sicily claimed that they finally decoded the contents of the letter using an algorithm they found. The letter allegedly talks about how those we worship are deadweights and are nothing but inventions of man. It also talked about the river Styx and the underworld. The chilling contents of the letter baffled people from all around the world. Some people believe that the devil possessed the nun and revealed the reality of what awaits us in the afterlife, while some believe that the letter of
If that's the case, then how can you trust it? If the devil did that to her, how can we trust that information? You trust the devil? So are you trusting the information he's gonna give you? But it still is some intriguing information, so I can see how somebody could easily be swayed.
And revealed the reality of what awaits us in the afterlife, while some believe that the letter of the decoded message doesn't mean anything. Those who decoded the letter allegedly obtained the software they used from the deep web and refused to elaborate. Sister Maria allegedly received 2 more letters from Satan, but refused to write or reveal their contents. A lot of people believe that the devil himself tempted Sister Maria into turning away from God, but some people believe otherwise. Others suggest that the nun might have suffered from bipolar disorder or schizophrenia. The letter might have been nothing but a product of delusions and hallucinations that the nun suffered from. I'll leave it up to you to decide. Number 10. Mummified mermaid in Japan. Tales and stories about mermaids have been around since 1000 BC.
True.
Conspiracy theorists and cryptozoologists have been trying to discover an actual specimen for years. Many alleged mermaids have been discovered in the past, but none of them were verified to be true. Recently, researchers claimed that they discovered a mummified mermaid in Japan. The remains were discovered in a Japanese temple, but its real origins remain unknown. The body allegedly was a 300-year-old mermaid caught in Japanese waters off the Japanese island of Shikoku between 1730 and 1740.
That's what
The
that was.
bizarre-looking
a
mummy
mermaid?
was 12 inches long. The hideous creature had a twisted face and pointed teeth. Meanwhile, its hands dangled around a fish-like lower body. A team of scientists studied the mummy to discern properly whether it was real mummified remains or a taxidermied combination of two animals, just like the one by P.T. Barnum. In Japanese mythology, mermaids are creatures associated with immortality. However, if the creature was captured and hunted, it was believed to bring bad luck. People from the Enjuin Temple in Asakuchi allegedly captured the mermaid to eat its scales. For what reason, we don't know. Although mermaids have always been depicted as beautiful and attractive creatures, this one looks like a monstrous combination of animals. I don't know about you, but I believe this is just one of history's many mermaid hoaxes. Number 9.
I wouldn't keep it in my possession, though. I'd throw it back. Just like I was sports fishing. I'd throw that one back, that catch back.
Aztec death whistles. When archaeologists stumbled upon these
You got
odd
to be
skull-shaped
kidding me, right?
items in graves near an Aztec temple in Mexico, they assumed they were merely ornaments and decorations. Years later, they discovered that they have a more sinister use. These small and creepy
You don't
artifacts weren't
say.
just visually creepy, but also had a
Is that giving you festive ornament vibes? They thought it was ornaments. Is that giving you festive vibes? No. It's giving you more satanic type vibes of stuff that you probably shouldn't take home and put in your china cabinet. And people still have china cabinets like people did back in the day. Like, no, you don't keep this.
use. These small and creepy artifacts weren't just visually creepy, but also had
No.
a scary function. It turns out that these small skulls were used as whistles, and they're far from the ones that we see today. These death whistles were used to create sounds similar to a human's piercing scream. These small hollow whistles imitate humans howling in pain. It took modern engineers several tries to perfect the death whistles and imitate the sound they produced. Researchers believe the Aztecs blew the whistle before a human sacrifice was killed. However, it was also used by the ancient warriors in battles to make their enemies tremble in fear. Ancient civilizations might have utilized psychological warfare hundreds, even thousands of years before we knew about it. Number 8. Oldest material found on Earth. We've learned more about the universe we live in the past few decades than in the last century. Currently, scientists discovered the oldest material found on our planet, and there's a chance that it predates the solar system itself. In the 1960s, scientists found dust grains within a space rock that fell on our planet. When they examined it, they were incredibly astounded by what they found. They found materials that existed long before our solar system was born. Amazingly, the dust grains were more than 7.5 billion years old. This means that some of these dust grains were older than the sun. This ancient interstellar dust was flung into our universe by dying stars during the final stages of their lives. The asteroid passing by that brings dust to our planet is called the Murchison meteorite. This massive 220-pound rock fell on our planet on September 28, 1969, near Victoria, Australia. Interestingly enough, researchers described the smell of this pre-solar dust as a scent similar to rotten peanut butter. This discovery proves that there are many things we don't know about our universe.
I've never smelled rotten peanut butter. And I don't even want to sound this ignorant, but I didn't know peanut butter could rot like that. Like, I know everything probably has somewhat of an expiration date, but think about it. How long has peanut butter sat in your closet? And then you still went in there and eaten it. Rotten peanut, I have never smelled.
Peanut butter. This discovery proves that there are many things we don't know about our universe. In the future, we'll continue to learn more about it. Number 7. Atacama mummy. In an abandoned mining town in Chile was a small mummy, only about 6 inches long. This small skeleton became known as Ada. to honor the place where the skeleton was found in the scorching environment of the Atacama Desert. Initially, Ata was believed to be the remains of an extraterrestrial creature because of its small size and elongated skull. For years, this was believed to be the case, but recent research revealed that it wasn't the case. When scientists discovered Ata, she was carefully wrapped in white cloth with a violet ribbon. The skeleton baffled the researchers in many ways. Its size was the most obvious oddity it possessed, but when scientists looked closer, it became apparent that Ata was more special. Scientists estimate that Ata was between 6 to 8 years old when she perished, which doesn't explain her size.
I've seen this clip multiple times, but when did they give it a name? It's the first time I'm hearing it with a name.
The skeleton had 10 pairs of ribs compared to the 12 pairs found in humans. Her cone-shaped skull also confused experts from all over the world. According to experts, it's guaranteed that Ata was human, not extraterrestrial. It's most likely that she suffered from multiple genetic problems, which caused her extraordinary appearance. However, researchers believe that Ata was loved, even in her final moments, because of the way she was delicately and carefully wrapped with cloth to ensure that her remains would be fine even after decades or centuries. Number 6. Japan's Killing Stone. People from each part of the world have their own sets of beliefs and superstitions.
True.
Those in Japan believe that several volcanic rocks are associated with ancient evil entities. Despite the insistence of geologists that the stones were natural, the locals believe that the stones signify something. And recently, the small volcanic rocks began to split apart. This caused a lot of chaos among the locals, who believed that the fox spirit was released when the stone split. For 1,000 years, the killing stones remained intact. It's quite understandable that the locals were worried because they split. The infamous killing stone is located in Natsu in the Tochigi Mountains near Tokyo, Japan. The rocks allegedly hold the spirit of a woman who transformed into a 9-tailed fox spirit. This mythical creature is often described as an entity with an unrivaled appearance. However, it's evil in nature. People believe that bad luck and chaos would soon ravage the land, but nothing significant happened since the killing stone split. Number 5. Giant sinkhole in Chile's Atacama Desert. It seems like the Atacama Desert has a lot of secrets to reveal. Recently, an aerial survey revealed a massive hole in the Chilean desert with an estimated diameter of about 80 feet. The sinkhole appeared in the span of several days, and it measured a staggering 656 feet from top to bottom. The sinkhole was deep enough to fit the Washington Monument inside, and there would still be 100 feet of unoccupied space. However, the sinkhole didn't appear without apparent reason. London Mining Corp, a mining corporation in Canada, owns the area where it showed up. There's a mine near where the sinkhole formed, but according to experts, it's remained stable since it was detected. The movement of the mines nearby were also monitored to ensure that it was still safe to work.
That looked like something exploded in that hole. I'm taking their word for it with the whole sinkhole thing, but I don't know, something don't seem right about that one.
Inside. Authorities near the area believe that something must have caused the sinkhole to appear, but it's still unknown to us to this day. And now, it's time for today's topic. What scientists discovered shocked the whole world. Although we still haven't found solid proof of alien existence, many people believe that extraterrestrial creatures have visited our planet before. Many places in the world are theorized to be connected with these otherworldly visitors. In the deserted and isolated Area 51, located at Groom Lake in southern Nevada, is a secret U.S. Air Force military installation. Although it's a government establishment used as a flight testing facility, many people aren't quite convinced. Although the facility in Area 51 is well guarded, a group of people raided the facility in 2019. It all started with a post on Facebook, and most people who participated in the event wanted to take a look inside the secretive facility. Around 150 people raided the area, but unfortunately for them, they didn't find any aliens. But since then, this photo began circulating around the internet. Several people claimed that this is actually what's happening inside Area 51. Do you think aliens really have visited us before? Are the higher-ups really hiding something from us? As always, comment down below with the hashtag today's topic and let us know your opinion about what we just showed on screen. With that said, let's keep things moving. Number 4. Newborn baby with elongated skull. In recent years, several humans with elongated skulls were discovered in Peru, in a settlement once occupied by the ancient Paracas culture. Paracas is a desert peninsula in the Pisco province in the southern region of Peru. In 1928, archaeologists discovered a graveyard filled with the remains of individuals with the largest and most elongated skulls in the world. About 300 individuals were found, all of whom had elongated skulls, and all of them date back to around 3,000 years ago. Initially, researchers believed this culture artificially modified its cranial structure to make it more elongated. But a recent discovery...
And I've heard that before. I've heard that a few times. But why? What for? What do you think they did that to stand out, to where they can, you know what I mean? There's other out of a group or something like that. They wanted to stand out, separate themselves from the other tribes, or did they feel like that made you smarter? If your head shape was like that, did it make you smarter? I don't know. I'm still questioning that.
He revealed that it might not be the case. Recently, archaeologists found an extremely elongated head of a newborn baby. The usual method of cranial elongation takes at least 6 months to get the desired effects, which means this baby might have been naturally born with an elongated head. Further research suggested that the young child was born between 2,000 to 2,800 years ago. She was less than 3 months old when she perished, but she already had a significantly elongated head. This curious discovery led researchers to believe that perhaps several people in the ancient Paracas culture were naturally born with this curious feature. For what reason? We're still unsure, but it's guaranteed that people in the past believed having an elongated skull was desirable, and perhaps even attractive. Number 3. Shrunken head. You might recognize this shrunken head discovered in South America, also known as tsansa. There are a lot of these shrunken heads. Most were created by indigenous people. But despite their number, these heads are shrouded with mystery. Tsansas are severed human heads, or at least look like human heads, used by tribal cultures in certain regions of America. They were usually used for rituals or as trophies to scare off their enemies. Recently, scientists have been trying to discover whether these heads really belong to humans. Some people believe that the heads didn't belong to actual human beings because of their size, and because of how crazy it is for another human being to use an actual human head to create something that gruesome. However, experts believe that tsansas were made out of real humans. Tribes in South America have a specific method to create these shrunken heads. Trust me, it's not for the weak of heart. Number 2.
I can tell.
Three-fingered mummified hand. Unfortunately, not all of us are born equal. Some of us are born with complete body parts, but not everyone. Some of us are born with missing limbs or even fingers, but we continue to prove that humans are amazing beings that can adapt. It's not unusual to find human remains with missing thumbs, feet, hands, or other body parts. But one look at this hand, and researchers immediately knew that there's a chance it didn't belong to a modern human. In an isolated tunnel in the Peruvian desert lies a mummified three-fingered hand. What made it stranger was that it had 3 fingers, with each digit being more than 8 inches long. When it was initially examined, experts concluded it was a man-made limb. Certainly, there's nothing suspicious about an artist trying to create a 3-fingered hand. However, recent research by a physician in Cusco, Peru revealed that the mummified hand wasn't a simple prop. In fact, it was created with skin and bone. Each elongated finger had 6 bones connected together, which explains its length. The conclusion was that the rumors about the mummified remains were debunked, and it was declared that this hand was actually real. Animals with 3 fingers are known as tridactyl. It's common for creatures to have 3 fingers or toes, but they're common for reptiles or birds. It's definitely strange for a primate or human-like creature to possess 3 fingers, especially ones this length. Researchers believe that the hand they discovered belonged to a real creature, but what life form remains a question. Bigfoot? An undiscovered primate? An unknown predecessor that lived long ago? Or something else entirely? Your guess is as good as mine. Number 1. Disease-ridden Spanish skeletons. Syphilis is a highly contagious disease that can cause serious health problems. It's believed that this sickness dates back as far as 7000 BC. Recently, researchers discovered several skeletons underneath a 500-year-old hospital in Lima. A total of 42 skeletons were uncovered beneath the centuries-old hospital, and when they were examined, researchers found traces of syphilis among the skeletons. It was incredibly apparent that people back then didn't know how to deal with the disease properly. One of the male skeletons was found wearing a copper cross on a chain around his neck, a desperate attempt to ward off the sickness.
Yep.
In the past, this disease was associated with promiscuity and the devil. No one wanted to deal with people who contracted the disease, causing a widespread stigma among many people. The discovery showed the poor treatment the people with syphilis long ago suffered from. It was a tragic part of history, but fortunately, the stigma surrounding this sickness is significantly less today. Do you know other strange discoveries made recently? Make sure to share them down below. Also, check.
Wow. That's crazy, man, to think about it. Especially in our day and time where we have doctors and different ones that are trying their best to find a cure for a lot of these diseases, treating us with different medicines, surgeries, different things. And to think back to their time and they just had to deal with it, or they either had, like you said, the chain with whatever on it or whatever type of things they came up with, different concoctions they had you drink and different remedies they had you take and do different things, man. But on the other side of that, they could have found some cures, man, and it died off when they died off. So I hope we keep looking and finding and researching and analyzing a lot of these skulls and bones and different things we're finding, man. Maybe we come across for a cure for some of these modern day diseases. I don't know. Only thing I could do is be hopeful. You know what I mean? But y'all get at me in the comment section and let me know what you thought about this video, man. What scientists discovered shocked the world. And it was truly shocking. So y'all stick around and stay tuned, man. Till next one, I'm gone. Peace.